Welcome back. Will Worsham joins us now for this week's Speaking Legal discussion. Good to see you as always.
Good to be here.
All right. Today we're going to be focusing on a topic that a lot of people deal with. It's how young families can plan for their minor children.
Yeah, actually, it's a problem that a lot of people don't plan for, and that's what makes it the problem. And so, the tragic thing that happens that we want to try to avoid is, a young couple, they're not thinking about an estate plan, and we're not necessarily talking about the traditional role of estate planning here. We're not talking about how to distribute their assets. What we are talking about is that 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 13-year-old child in their parents' care at home, maybe with a babysitter while mom and dad enjoy an evening out, and mom and dad don't make it home that night. For whatever reason, either temporarily or permanently.
That's reality.
That's reality. Yeah. That happens. It happens every day. And the reality of what happens at that point is law enforcement services, whoever, they show up at the door because mom and dad aren't coming home. And there's maybe a 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old
babysitting. Yes. Or it's even the eldest child maybe babysitting.
Right, but they can't be left alone.
No.
So they have to be taken into protective custody. Even if there's maybe family readily and available, they're not legally entitled to take custody of those children unless you've planned.
Right.
So one of the things that we can do is we can create documents right away. We can nominate guardians. We can do it with guardian nominations and with will documents. We can do it with a full trust, too, if it's appropriate, but we don't have to go to that extent just to protect the kids in this scenario. And so we can create temporary and long-term guardians. So maybe your long-term guardians that you want for the kids don't live in the area. They can't respond immediately.
Right.
We can put temporary guardians in place that can come that very night. They've got the documents in hand to take custody of the kids.
Do you think part of the problem here is by using the word estate, a lot of people think that means, well, I have a manor, I have boats, I have cars. That's not what estate means in this case.
No, not in this context. The truth of the matter is everyone has an estate.
Yes.
It may be very small, but you have an estate. And that's not what we're talking about here at all. That's what we tend to talk about these as protection plans, family protection plans. Because our goal is not necessarily to distribute an estate, it's to make sure that the family is protected in case of tragedy. Because the worst thing that can happen to these kids, other than their parents being injured or perhaps killed, is to have to spend that night with some people they don't know.
Yes.
Foster care in the system.
And, God bless them that they're there to step in, but it's still a stranger. You're throwing your kids in a terrible situation in another situation that is, it can't be good for them.
Well, it's doubling down on the tragedy that night. When we can very easily put together a system, a legal process to where the people you want them to have want them to be with that night can get them and can legally be in charge of them that night.
What are the first steps they need to take?
Well, the first steps they need to take are probably call me. Get in touch with me. We've actually got some fairly inexpensive ways of doing that, and so one of the easy ways to do that right now is just as a service that I'm offering. It's called $500friday.com. $500friday.com. Only limited appointments are available on Fridays only, and at that price. But that's a way to get this done about half what it would normally cost.
Because it can never be too early, but it can be too late.
Right. And now we do have a couple of openings tonight for our full estate planning workshop.
Okay.
So it's tonight. You need to call 882-1800 to reserve your spot, but we can get you in tonight, and you can get that overview and not have to wait a whole other month to get in and see us.
Thanks, Will.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Now, if you have a question for Will, you can email him at wworsham@color10.com, and he will answer your question on the show. Thanks again.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, up next, our money man is going to come and take a seat. You know who he is. Yeah, Bruce Porter will be here when we come back. Don't go away.